everyone, thanks again for coming together as a team. Today we're here to discuss the information that we've gathered regarding Brayden.
Brayden's family has expressed concern over their son's use of gestures and single word use only. They have expressed a preference for spoken language rather than sign language and technology-based methods of communication. Brayden was born very premature at 29 weeks. While in the NICU, Brayden experienced a grade 3 intraventricular hemorrhage, which means there is bleeding in his brain. A report from Brayden's neurologist also states a diagnosis of cerebral palsy. Brayden currently lives with both of his parents and 3 older siblings, and he will attend early childhood education when he turns 3. Brayden receives physical therapy and occupational therapy weekly, which focuses heavily on independent walking as a goal.
Brayden also has decreased muscle strength and range of motion of his oral structures due to his diagnosis of cerebral palsy, and this makes it difficult for him to coordinate his muscles while he's eating and also while he is speaking. This also may present difficulties when he enters early childhood education, so he may not be able to communicate his wants and needs as effectively since he has difficulty coordinating these structures. He also has frequent drooling while he's eating, so this is due to a weakness in his facial structures, again, meaning that he can't seal his lips to hold in his secretions. Again, this may have social implications once he's in school. Brayden also experiences coughing while he's eating, so this is also, again, due to the lack of strength and range of motion in his facial structures, and also with the coordination of a safe swallow. So if these structures are weak or he doesn't have control over them, as a typically developing childhood, he might experience food or water entering his airway, and that also becomes a safety concern.
When Brayden speaks, his voice often sounds breathy and low in volume. His voice also has a moderate nasal quality to it, so this is likely due to a weakness of his soft palate. He also has difficulty producing consonant sounds correctly, which definitely can contribute to his being hard to understand by other listeners. Brayden relies solely on single words at this time, which indicates that he cannot produce multiple word utterances currently. And at Brayden's age, he should be about 75% understandable to all listeners, whether they're familiar or unfamiliar. He's currently about 80% understandable to his family, but only 20% understandable to unfamiliar listeners, so this is definitely an area of concern. And Brayden can also imitate things like the final S sound in words, but he usually leaves those final sounds off the words. And the normal range of language development is wide, as we know and discuss, but for children Brayden's age, he should definitely have grown out of this at this time.
As far as our diagnosis, Brayden presents with
dysarthric speech
and developmental language delay.
and dysarthric speech.
He has the characteristics of reduced volume, a breathy voice, and precise articulation, especially with consonants, moderate hypernasality, and decreased movement and strength in his oral structures. We also know that
Dysarthric speech
is frequently related to cerebral palsy. As far as his developmental language delay, that is evidenced by his reliance on single words only and his low intelligibility level with unfamiliar listeners. He is cooperative, attentive, and observant, and this will positively impact his prognosis and future therapy services.
The Preschool Language Scales 5th edition, the PLS-5, and the Diadoco-Kinetic rates should be administered, and these will provide good information as to what goals could be targeted for Brayden. And speech-language therapy is recommended to provide speech training and also provide some AAC exploration and education for Brayden and his family. And referral is recommended to evaluate Brayden for dysphagia. And then lastly, when he continues going to see his physical therapist and his occupational therapist, he can continue to work towards his goal for independent walking. And thank you everyone for your time tonight.
The information that we've gathered about Brayden.
Brayden's family has